In this video, we're going to cover the build of a solution that we've exported from our Power Platform environment and committed to source control. And this makes sure that the steps that are committing to source control and that are source control are both valid, so that in the event of our original development solution being deleted accidentally or the environment being lost through some other reason, we can recover from what we have in source control. In our pipelines, we've already exported both the unmanaged and managed solution. We've published the managed solution so that we can move on with the build, but we still want to be able to verify that the unmanaged solution that we've got contains all the components that we need to do a deployment. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll create a new build pipeline within our ADO system. So if we go to pipelines, we will create a new pipeline, and typically this is our fourth step in the whole process. So again, we'll start with the classic editor, again bind it to the Azure Git repo. We are binding it to the Power Platform Solutions repository, and we will continue that. Again, we will select an empty template because we don't currently have a Power Platform template available to us, and then move on to the configuration. So the first thing we want to do is give it a name, so we know it's the fourth step in our pipeline, and this is the build solution from source control. Okay, again, we can leave the agent specification as Windows 2019, or we can select Windows latest if we don't want to have to worry about updating that over time. We move on to the agent job, and again, we could rename this for the purpose of the video. We're not going to, but we're going to start adding our tasks. So as usual, we start with Power Platform tool installer. Without adding this first, we won't be able to run any of the Power Platform steps. Next, we search for the Power Platform pack solution step. So we add that. Then we are going to do an import. And finally, because we are importing an unmanaged solution, we need to publish all our customizations. Okay, so we've added all our tasks to this build. We can go on to configuring them now. So again, we're looking at the source folder of the solution to pack. So this is the folder based on our pipeline. So we select PP solutions and the folder that we've committed source control, and we select that. Next, we move on to the solution output file, and we're going to create a brand new file so we don't accidentally use the files that we exported in earlier steps. In this case, we're going to name the file _build from source. If we had unpacked a managed solution, we would tell it to pack it as a managed solution instead, but in this case, we're just going to use an unmanaged solution. All the other options, again, we just leave as default for now. Next, we move on to the import solution step. Again, we select our environment that we're going to import into. In this case, it's our build environment in Power Platform, and we're going to select the solution input file. So the solution input file is the one we renamed build from source in the previous step, and we are going to import it as an asynchronous operation because it can be quite lengthy and a maximum wait time of 60 minutes. Depending on the size of your solution, this may creep up over the 60 minutes at some point in the future. Lastly, we are going on to publish customization. So again, we connect it to the Power Platform environment we're building to, and we select the URL. All the other task settings are left as default, and we can save that. One last thing, we only want this to trigger after our previous build, so we select a build completion trigger and tell it to execute when the export solutions is complete. Then we can save the pipeline. What this does is it means that any time the previous step 02 export solution completes, this new pipeline will take over. The reason we have it split into multiple pipelines is if one pipeline fails, for example, a password is expired or there's been a connection issue, we can start the build from that point onwards. We don't have to re-engineer the whole build process.